right, gentlemen, you received the instructions in the dressing room. Know what I expect? Good, clean fight. Legal punches, here for you. Legal punches, here for you. Touch gloves, good to both of you. Good luck, guys. Let's go, man.
All right, this one's scheduled for 4 rounds in the featherweight division. The pro debut of Bruce Carrington taking on Velasco, Texas' own Cesar Cantu.
Well, I find it to be interesting as well, Christina, that Bruce Carrington, his strength and conditioning coach, is the same strength and conditioning coach as Edgar Berlanga. They call him Scooter out there in Brooklyn, New York. So I know that Berlanga's a physical specimen. We'll see if Bruce Carrington can use that physical attributes here in his fight against Cesar Cantu.
Yeah, Bruce and Edgar Berlanga are childhood friends. He's also friends with Duke Reagan and several of these other fellow Olympians. He was the 2020 U.S. Olympic trials champion and would have represented the U.S. in Tokyo, but the IOC Boxing Task Force canceled that America's qualifier and turned to the rankings to determine, so he didn't get to make that trip into the Olympics. So here he is turning pro in the red trunks with the furry white trim against Cantu in the blue and white trunks. And right away, both guys looking to establish their jab and throw some good combinations here to start. Down to the body goes Carrington early.
Well, they're both mixing it up as Cantu is stepping right to Carrington with his jab, and Carrington willing to oblige as he throws that overhand right.
There's a strong jab there from Carrington. And as you mentioned, double jab there from Cantu, answering right back. Both trying to establish the dominance there in the center of the ring.
And that's what I like about Cantu from the opening moments. He is without a doubt trying to show Bruce Carrington, look, I didn't come to just be your opponent and be a highlight reel in your pro debut. I'm coming to beat you and not just be your opponent.
You can tell that by his demeanor in there right now, trying not to give up that ground in the center of the ring as they take turns here, throwing shots to the body. And a brief warning there for the head clash as no blood, no foul there. Down to the body with the stab jab goes Cantu, and answering back up top with the 4-5 punch combination comes Carrington.
And it was a beautiful right hand that backed up Cantu. As you see now, Cantu is more reluctant to come forward. He's backpedaling because that right hand, he didn't like that too much. You could tell he backed off immediately after Carrington sprayed him with that.
Down to the body goes Carrington and back up top. Good right hand from Carrington and a good answer with the left from Cantu.
Carrington, I think, is enjoying the fact that Cantu is so brave and has this bravado to come forward, because we're seeing the hand speed and we're seeing the accuracy of Carrington on display in the early going.
Let him go, Bruce.
I like for both of these guys, too, this early in their careers, investing in the body work. Sometimes, especially in a guy making his pro debut, it takes some time for them to sit down on the punches. It takes some time to invest some work into the body since they're so used to pitter-pattering up top. I really like to see that from both of these men here early on.
Well, Carrington went to the body. I love that stabbing jab that he just used, very similar to that of Floyd Mayweather. And the nose is reddening of Cantu.
The hand speed is just a little bit faster from Carrington here in the early rounds.
He's got wicked shots, this Carrington.
Really does. Nice start. Really good opening round here. This one short and sweet, scheduled for 4. Featherweight division. Both guys coming in at 127 pounds. As you get a look at Carrington corner, he has Mike Basil as his cut man and Kay Karoma, and then his father, Carrington Sr., and John Rosales.
It's a quality corner, Christina.
100%. Well, Mike Basil in your pro debut?
I mean, are you kidding me? Exactly.
Talk about true pros. I mean, Rudy Hernandez, you mentioned it. I mean, he's so much more than a cut man, but an outstanding trainer, underrated 100%.
Absolutely.
And someone that I feel like should definitely get his flowers right now. But nonetheless, a look at a couple replays from round 1.
Well, I love the hand speed of Carrington, and Cantu came forward, and that was a beautiful left hook that Carrington was able to connect upon, and then that beautiful left hook followed by that right hand. There's the right hand that backed up Cantu, and you saw that Cantu was trying to tie up, but then immediately said, okay, I can't tie him up. Let me backpedal to give myself some time to clear the cobwebs.
Round 2 starts with a real sharp jab from Carrington, trying to pick up where he left off in round 1. But good job, Cantu, blocking those shots right off the gloves.
And Carrington, being a featherweight, 126 is a loaded division and full of young, hungry guys. And Carrington making his pro debut. I'm curious to see if he's successful tonight, where he moves forward from here.
Great shot down to the body with the left hand. And I do have to say, I mean, you and I, we call a lot of undercard fights. I don't think that Shushu Carrington looks like he's making his pro debut tonight. Looks like a seasoned fighter to me in there so far.
I'm going to point out the fact that I like the high guard of Carrington. He's not easy to be able to land upon. He's got a nice high guard. Bam, beautiful right hand.
And comes back with the left hook as well. Smartly holding is Cantu. Cantu just a little bit lazy, though, with that jab to set up that right hand. I mean, Carrington can see that coming.
Cantu is throwing one shot at a time. Carrington's throwing machine gun-like bursts, but they're all accurate, and then he brings his defense back, and Cantu's like, I can't even counter this guy.
He's looking for an opening, looking for an opportunity, and meanwhile is being occupied with a strong lead left jab. He throws, to your point, one shot again down to the body, one shot, got out of range there. I think he's having a little easier time getting out of distance.
Big right hand by Carrington that backed up Cantu again as he got lazy with his hands by his side. Carrington saw that opening and threw the right hand over the top.
Again with the right hand over the top from Carrington, and that's because you see Cantu holding that left a little close to the body. Why is he doing that? Because Carrington's right hand has found a home to the body from the very first round.
So now Cantu is like, I'm just going to try to out-physical this guy because it's clear that he is the far more superior technical fighter. So let me try to crowd him and smother his shots.
Yeah, there's a big right hand right there, and you can tell that one affected Cantu as he leans his body weight on Carrington, comes back with the right hand, but just not the same type of force and ferocity is the punches coming from Carrington.
Get off his head.
Another point with Carrington is he could fight on the inside. He's demonstrated he can fight on the inside and be effective. He's not just an outside fighter and uses his distance and his range.
And actually, I'm not mad at what Cantu's doing right now. He's using some of his body weight to kind of lean on Carrington, trying to slow him down, smother some of these shots. The problem is he's leaning so far over that front foot, he needs to watch out for the uppercut.
Well, it's like what Bill Withers says, lean on me when you're not strong, and Cantu isn't as strong as Bruce Carrington.
He is not, and I didn't think we were going to get singing until perhaps after the main event later tonight. Who knows, but
it is Las Vegas, the city of entertainment.
And you're looking sharp as ever with your tux. You could do it all, Ray Flores, and doing it all so far in his pro debut.
Bruce Carrington,
yep. Shushu's having a good start so far, and I mean, if you're in the Cantu corner, what do you think Rudy and those guys are telling him?
Well, they're like, look, you got to rough this guy up, because when you're dealing with this kind of ability, bang, that right hand by Carrington, sharp, accurate. Then, instead of just resting on his laurels, he threw that left hook as well to be able to give him another power shot. Carrington is stalking Cantu, but in a calculated manner, and that right hand continues to find the home. And what I like about Carrington's right hand is he's throwing it from a variety of different angles. He's throwing the straight right hand. He's throwing the overhand right. And Cantu's like, I can't even gauge and start to figure this guy's right hand out because it's coming from a variety of different angles.
How about the fact that he's not only using feints already in his pro debut, right, but he's kind of like looking him off. He threw one of those right hands where he kind of like looked over to the side and came with that overhand right like you're talking about. I mean, this is seasoned veteran stuff from a guy in his pro debut.
This is maturity that we are seeing, and how I look at this young man, he reminds me of that. I mean, he has sort of, he's a little bit stockier than that of Chris Colbert, who's at 130 pounds, but he's a little bit more defined up top, but he has that bravado. Colbert's from Brooklyn. He has that pizzazz. He has that ability that, look, I belong here. The lights aren't getting the best of him.
Oh, when you're FaceTiming Zab Judah before your fight, getting ready, I mean, Brooklyn's in the building. I don't think he lacks for confidence.
No.
One bit, as he had Keyshawn Davis supporting him at the weigh-ins yesterday, friends with Jared Anderson. I mean, all those guys. He's got a great group of people behind him, and right now is looking to continue to build on the momentum. Things slowing down a bit here in round 3 in terms of pace as Cantu is looking to find an opening there, shoots a double jab.
Now we're seeing Cantu's trying to fight tall. He's like, all right, let me try to see if I can fight tall on this guy and give him a different look. Well, guess what? Carrington has seen nearly every different style imaginable in the amateurs.
Yeah, and that left hand, again, twice, just finding a home as Cantu needs to get his hands back up from his waist.
Cantu got lazy with that right hand, Christina. He got clipped with the left hook.
And right now, Carrington is sensing some blood as he looks to pour it on, and that's a good exchange. Finally, a nice answer back from Cantu there with a couple shots down to the body.
It is now target practice for Carrington.
Things heating up a bit as the referee comes in to break them up, but it's right back at it. Carrington, I think, sensing that he'd like to get a knockout here in his pro debut, but Cantu is not going down easy.
Carrington's body language suggests to me that I know I got this guy hurt, I'm able to bully him, and now it's time for me to turn off the lights.
Blood now trickling from the right eyebrow of Cantu as he's cut here in round 3.
Now Cantu is having to deal with the laceration outside of his eye. He used his glove to wipe it off, but Carrington knows, I got this guy hurt.
The arsenal of punches and the barrages that we have seen from Carrington here in his pro debut. Really great work from Kei Karoma in getting his fighter ready for this moment. I mean, God, these guys have been so ready because they were waiting for that July card. He was crushed that his pro debut had to get pushed back, but you can just see how much work that he's continued to put in. It's showing and it's on full display right now.
Boy, he looks sensational tonight. You know, he dealt with a strong kid, and as you pointed out, with the blood.
Blood now coming from the mouth as well of Cantu, as he's looking to try to find an answer. Tough as nails is not backing up, continuing to try to stand there and come forward, but has yet to really be first in any of these exchanges as Carrington maybe backed off the gas just a tad bit here.
So the first minute of the first round was competitive, and since that time, Christina, it has been all Carrington.
Right hook, left hook, uppercut. Carrington pouring it on 10 seconds left here in round 3. Cantu survives.
It was a 4-punch combination that jacked his jaw on numerous occasions.
I think they heard you, that things slowed down a bit, and they decided to turn it up there the final 10 seconds as we get ready for the 4th and final round.
Because why he's down here? Now look, another thing I want, don't swing over here. Swing. Okay? Because you're helping the person. Go here. Head in your chest. You need to get you with one. Deep breath. So you breathe.
And as we take a look at more of the Bruce Carrington show here in the prelim portion, there's that left hook that he utilizes, and he started to gain confidence in walking down Cesar Cantu. Cantu throwing punches, but a lot of them arm shots and not really sitting down in his shots, but Carrington was. And the combinations that he's putting together are marvelous. And if you love the sport of boxing, that is just craftsmanship at its finest.
We're not scoring fights here ringside, but I think it's fair to say at this point Cantu would need a knockout to win this.
Yeah, I would say.
It's been a pretty dominant performance from the opening bell in the pro debut of Bruce "Shoo-Shoo" Carrington.
I would say
Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York.
30-27 on my unofficial scorecard, Christina, all in favor of Bruce Carrington.
You heard the instruction a little bit there as we listened in to Kei Karoma in the red corner, telling Bruce kind of keep your head up on some of these combinations. Don't lean your head down too much. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the busy night Kei Karoma has. He has Jared Anderson and F.A. Ajagba on the heavyweight portion. Well, it's all heavyweights, actually, on our pay-per-view portion coming up later tonight. Still available for you to purchase on ESPN Plus and Fox Sports pay-per-view.
You better do it. This card is loaded. When Bob Arum, the CEO of Top Rank Incorporated, says this is one of the deepest pay-per-view cards he's ever
big
seen.
Left hook from Carrington.
Beautiful left hook by Carrington, and this is the prelim portion. Wait till the pay-per-view.
That one stunned Cantu for a moment there. Trying to get some juice back in his legs as he get up on his toes, but that was a big shot there from Carrington. And you would think maybe he's looking to try to get that knockout in his pro debut.
Well, I think he's being smart about it, too, because he realizes Cantu is trying to be unorthodox and land something crazy, but Carrington is not even giving him that opportunity. As Carrington comes forward, he puts his guard up, and then he starts to throw, and he uses good head movement as well.
Cantu's taking some big shots, but man, he's tough as nails, continues to come forward. He's like, even in this very moment, trying to back up Carrington up against the ropes.
If you're a young fighter, you want to fight a guy like Cesar Cantu to see where you're at when it comes to being a young prospect.
Oh, again, down to the body with the left hand. And we said the matchmaking in this fight, I mean, to give a guy in your pro debut a tough out like Cesar Cantu has been, who knew coming into sight, quote unquote, the B side, but look, he's giving it his all right now in round 4. I mean, we got about under a minute to go.
And he was giving Carrington good work for the first minute, but Carrington proved to, from our standpoint,
yes,
he could be something.
He's invested in the body early. The head's starting to come down. He's landed some good hooks up top. There's that strong jab. Oh, again with the right hand, that chopping right hook. Oh, again with the chopping right hook. Down to the body goes Cantu, but Carrington just says, nothing that you're doing is hurting me, is affecting me right now.
What I like about Cantu, though, even though he's losing every round, is that he's still coming forward, fighting hard. He's still trying to get that home run shot. And Carrington's like, not tonight.
10 seconds to go here. Shushu with the big left hook there. Right hand, left hook at the bell, and it is over. Spectacular pro debut for Bruce Shushu Carrington.
If I could buy stock in a young fighter, Bruce Carrington would be one that I throw a lot of money at, because I think he could be something special just based on this one singular performance. He has a lot of skills and maturity that you can't teach. He looks, the way that he performed in the ring, Christina, is a lot older than that of being just 24 years old.
And you know what? He's a promotional free agent. I mean, I would think that, you know, yesterday the promoters would be lining up, and perhaps they are, but he right now is a free agent, and like you said, if I was top-ranked PBC, whoever, matchups,
I'd give a blank check and said, listen, sign what you want, and then write in the number, and we will pay you throughout as you move forward.
He had amateur wins over David Navarro, Duke Reagan, Martino Jules.
And we saw
probably collected one tonight.
I would agree with you. And as we look at the attributes that Carrington, there's a nice jab by Carrington. He was able to fight on the inside well against Cantu, who's a tough customer from Weslaco, Texas. He did well on the inside. He fought well from the outside. That right hand was a big weapon of choice for him. He threw it from a variety of different angles. In the third round, he really started to bust up Cesar Cantu. That left hook caused the laceration outside of the right eye of Cantu.
And I'm just so impressed by the way that he threw his punches, the punch variety, down to the body early, back up top. We see these guys in the pro debut. You and I call a lot of these undercards. They're not turning their gloves over. They're not sitting down on their punches. It's a 1-2. It's very predictable. None of that was said tonight.
And it wasn't just fundamentals with Carrington. He was able to mix in an overhand right, the straight right hand, going to the body, machine gun-like burst, not just the 1-2 that he could have easily used to beat this guy, but we saw combination punching. We saw accuracy. We saw good defense. He was able to bully the bully. He fought on the outside well. To me, across the board, this guy went out there and checked all the boxes. I know I'm sounding repetitive like that of Victor Faust, but I believe the same case has been applied with Bruce Carrington.
All right, let's send it up to our ring announcer for the official decision. Here is Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds here inside T-Mobile Arena, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision.
Chris Migliore, Steve Morrow, and Ricardo Ocasio all score the bout 40-36. For your winner by unanimous decision, making his professional debut, Bruce Shushu Carrington.
Ladies and gentlemen, we return to the action here inside the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in beautiful Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is boxing. This is Top Rank, presented by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Mr. Bob Arum, presented in association with Bryce and Tony Holden Productions. This bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the featherweight division. Our judges at ringside, Jason Greenwald, Henry Gary, and David Sutherland. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Gerald Ritter. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, He weighed in at 125.6 pounds, wearing all black trunks. He brings a record of 1-0. That victory coming by way of knockout from Leon, Baja California, Mexico, Stephen Brown. Introducing out of the red corner, he weighed in at 125.8 pounds, wearing black trunks with red trim. He too brings a record of 1-0 into the ring. Born and representing Brownsville, Brooklyn, Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington.
The fighters are supposed to receive instructions earlier in the dressing room. Expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. This trunk's a little high. This will be the line right here. These trunks are good. Touch your gloves. Good luck.
The nickname Shushu means the one who rises above all in Egyptian. He's been with Kay Karoma in his corner throughout his amateur career. And he told us, I want to stay active like Xander Zayas and Jared Anderson. And Andre, that's exactly what you want from a young fighter.
You know what? That's exactly what you need. You know, activity, staying present, staying in the public eye, growing inside that ring, stepping up the competition each and every time you get in there. I like Shushu.
Yeah, Shushu's got every tool in the toolbox from Brownsville, New York. Says, look, how am I not going to be a huge Mike Tyson fan? But you've also got to understand who else came out of there. Saddam Ali, Marcus Brown, as well as Zab Judah. Nice right hand as he's now digging to the body. Shushu Carrington going to work early here.
But you didn't see how he gathered that space right there before he landed the left hook. Pushed off a little bit, then landed the left hook. He does a lot of great stuff inside. A lot of small little tactics, old school tactics. There's a little bump again, just to get a little space. Was offense.
Nice dig to the body, and then he follows up with a right hand, does Shushu, but not before taking a nice counter right from Stephen Brown.
Head up, back up, box.
Stephen Brown was born in León, Guanajuato, Mexico. His father went to Mexico, met his mom there, and then moved to Fort Collins when he was just 3 years old. Nice right hand from Shushu. I don't know how Brown took that shot.
Yeah, he rolled with that shot too. Rolled his left shoulder back, came with the right hand. One thing, the young guy, Shushu, he don't waste a lot of punches. Takes his time, he places shots very well.
You know, he told us, I want to pattern my style against young Floyd Mayweather. And guess what? This is exactly what Floyd did early on. He had speed, he had power, but he was right in the pocket right through the end of his career.
See, it's crazy to see Shushu, how comfortable he is inside the pocket. A lot of fighters nowadays don't like to fight in the pocket. They like to fight outside or mid-range. But inside the pocket, they're uncomfortable. Not Shushu. He has it all.
Oh, another right hand. This one shakes the legs of Stephen Brown. And here comes the onslaught of Shushu Carrington. Stephen Brown is a robotics technician in Fort Collins, and he wishes it was a robot in there taking Carrington shots tonight. There's another right hand from Shushu.
You understand the framework he's doing, setting up those shots, framing the head of Brown, come with those combinations. Now he's coming forward, attacking, while Brown is moving back. Nice pill right there. Just beautiful tactics right here by Shushu.
Impressive first round from Bruce Carrington here.
He made a mistake by, pulling back off the gas. He should have continued to fight his fight the way he fought in the beginning of the fight, and he probably would have had his hand raised by the end of the night. You have to understand that sometimes it's all about the optics and how it looks. That's what it's about. you know, Valdez.
Oh, big left hook here from Shushu Carrington on Stephen Brown. As you see him leaning back against the ropes, and his body language has changed completely here.
Yeah, this fight just a matter of time. Shushu is slowly walking down, breaking down Brown.
And there it is, a left hook, a double uppercut. The legs are bent, and down goes Brown in really bad shape. Those last two shots were just absolutely unnecessary, but he was up, and the referee didn't step in between the two fighters. What a finish from Shushu Carrington here in round number 2. It might be Shushu, but tonight he was a choo-choo train. He just ran over Stephen Brown.
Yes, he was. Stephen Brown looks like he's okay. He took some hard shots back-to-back. Shushu was extremely accurate with his punches. You know, short, sharp shots up the middle, uppercuts, body shots, you name it. He did it all tonight and displayed his full arsenal in the ring against Brown. This young man, this is one guy to look out for. I'm letting you guys know right now. I'm giving him right now the double stamp of appreciation. Not only appreciation, but he's going to the top. No doubt about it in my mind.
The double stamp of approval from Tim Bradley. 5'8", 72-inch reach at 126 pounds. Shushu Carrington is going to be a handful for a long time to come at 24 years old. All right, Tim, let's take a look at just how viciously Shushu Carrington was able to finish this, a la Mike Tyson.
Well, I mean, it's simple. You know, from the previous round, he was dominating. See, that was a frame right there. Setting up, lining up the head for the right hand, but beautiful shot. He had Brown against the ropes. Brown bounced off the ropes and hit him with another uppercut and then another uppercut. Just beautiful placement right there by the young man, Shushu. Boom, right hand, frame that. Left hook, he was hurt right there. Brown was actually knocked out right before he hit the ground. Boom, right hand, uppercut, another left hook. The referee was a tad bit late on that last punch and stopping Shushu from delivering that shot.
And that's what I was mentioning, the fact that, you know, a fighter's gonna take advantage until the referee stops, and Gerald Ritter was a little bit timid in getting in there and allowed Carrington to just tee off with those last two uppercuts, which were just as impressive. What a knockout for Shushu Carrington. The official time with Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Tulsa, Oklahoma, referee Gerald Ritter stops this bout at 43 seconds of round number 2 for your winner by knockout, Bruce Shushu Carrington.
Shushu improves to 2-0, gets his first knockout as a pro. And what an impressive finish for the fighter out of Brooklyn, New York. Brownsville to be exact. You'll see this guy and you'll know this name for years to come.